throwing up thumbs in the arm race. Got your attention like sirens on a hot chase. The team got it on lock like a squad car. The dream grow the plot and leave like weed on a pop farm. The trauma born loser, minus the comic strip. Neanderthal mutate the raw, produce hominids. They flat lips like genital pieces. Make a bitch breathe heavy like General Grievous.
Yeah. Episode motherfucking 92, y'all. Take over at 10. YachtyBox.com. Shout out to everyone that's now watching, more than likely the day after, or maybe even 2 days, 3 days, whenever you catch this. We apologize for the live portion problems that you might have experienced, but we appreciate you clicking the link, watching us now, and again, man, if you could do us a favor and just share this, man, put it on your wall, put it wherever you got to, man, to share this greatness. Shout out to my brother Feedy Sport, starting off episode 92 like he done 91 other times prior to that, supporting not only dope hip hop but as well as local Philly hip hop, and that's what we do over at the Takeover at 10, man. If you've been watching or listening since day one, you already know what we do, man. We support the local scene heavy because not many people do. I've been in that grind where I would have loved to have someone come up and say, yo, Kane, let me throw you on a radio show, let me introduce you to our listeners and our crowd, this, that, and the third. But so today, man, is one of my favorite MCs, man. Known the brother for a long time. Been tearing down mics longer than your oldest son or daughter's probably been alive. And I'm happy to introduce to y'all the good brother Zach in the fucking building. What's up, homeboy?
What's going on, B. Kane? How are you?
I'm good, man. I still want to call you John Zach, man. And fucking John Zach keeps popping up on me.
Is it on? And, I don't hear me.
Let's see here. Give me 1 second here.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What's good? How you doing, B?
I'm good, brother. Thank you for coming through, man. Again, man. It's been long overdue, man.
Episode 92.
I know, man. Should have been like within the first 20 episodes, if that. But
that's
again,
okay,
man. Good things comes to those who wait, man.
I'm happy to be here, man.
And we're happy to have you, man. Real shit, man. Like I always said, man, if anyone deserves to be here, man, it's definitely you. We don't just give out interviews to just anyone. As we all know, you know, I know a million and one dudes that rap, and I can't bring them all up here. About maybe 100 of them or more is even dope, and even then it's hard. So it was only right to have you up here, bro. So again, man, how you feeling today, man? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling real good, man. You know, I got a good, honest day's working today.
Saw you, man. You had the hard hat on fucking IG and shit.
I had my beard ducked out because everybody bugged out on that anyway.
Word. I told you earlier, man, I didn't shave today in honor of you, man. You know, I left the cheeks a little rough for you,
That's
man.
what's up. I put a good word into the beard game for you. You know
No doubt, man.
That, you know, that you're well taken care of and compensated.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Now, as I mentioned, man, in the intro, man, as far as how long you've been doing, how exactly long have you been truly doing it, man? Like, as far as just rapping in general, even before you might have been on your grind, man. I normally don't even ask people this because I really don't give a shit how long they've been rapping, to be honest. But I am curious, too, as far as how long you actually been doing this shit, Zach.
Yeah, man. Summer '95. So, you know, whatever that is now, 20 years, coming up 20 years. Just homeless, freestyling, running weed back and forth from west to south to everywhere else. Looking homeless as a motherfucker, but still making a little paper, whatever. And just rhyming, doing that all the time. Like, that was how I kept myself sane in a crazy world, was just freestyling. And I did that for like 4 years. I didn't even write songs or anything like that. I used to write poetry.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I started when I...
Respect that, man.
Yeah, well, like, you know, I had some loss and some crazy stuff happen in life, and like, you know, so when I was young, my brother died. I was like 12, and the whole world sort of fell apart, and the only thing I had was a pad and a pen and the thoughts in my head to deal with it. And so that evolved into, you know, eventually school didn't work out, you know what I'm saying? I only went to school till 8th grade,
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I was just out, you know what I mean? I had a job pretending to go to school, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so rap at the beginning was really just an outlet, and I didn't even think about writing songs. I wrote poetry, but I didn't think about writing rhymes and none of that shit. And then it sort of just evolved into, you know, all right, I've been ciphering, I've been freestyling, I've been, you know, I used to walk around. This was back in the day when, like, on South Street,
I remember those days.
Man, you couldn't throw a stone with balls banging on city paper boxes, banging on the walls, doing, just exhibiting the culture, and it wasn't even about a show or a song or none. It was just like, who's going to do it right now? You know what I'm saying? And that's like around people that I consider legends, Lost Children of Babylon, Chief Kamachi. Like, these were the dudes that I had to like push into circles because, you know, that was the only way I was going to get room. And then that just evolved into like, all right, the poetry just transformed into bars, and then that turned into, you know.
I was out there them days, man. I was part of a crew called X-Files, and we used to run side by side with Lost Children of Babylon. Shout out to Rasul, man. Shout out to Kim. Shout out to all of them, man. Good brothers, man. And it's funny, not to get off subject real quick, but a lot of people know, as far as Jedi Mind Tricks blowing up on the underground scene, touring the world. Not many people know Jedi Mind Tricks was first on a B-side of LCOB back in the day. First time I heard of them was on the B-side. It was almost as if they brought them up. But as you were saying, man, back in them days too, you couldn't go down no corner, man, or anywhere from on South Street. It was just love, man.
I was on Broad Street. I walked into the Rite Aid and boys were just ciphering.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? It was like
days, man.
We drove down Broad and I saw them and I was like, all right, let's go. We just pull over and just jump out and then it was going. You know what I mean?
And it was truly levels to them ciphers. Like, I don't want to say everyone in the ciphers was the shit, but you had your levels. You had the whack boys over there and they whack cipher. You had the boys who were still getting their weight up in their cipher. And you had the boys who were the top of the line, the Chief Kamachis and those dudes like that, who held it down in their type. And to get in there, man, like, you
had to push in.
You snuck in and spit some shit, they not even gonna let you finish. You was getting the elbow out the joint and they was moving along, man.
Right, and let's not front like it wasn't a different era, you know what I mean?
Totally.
You can recognize race in it if it's need be. Like, this was before Eminem, this was before everybody rapped. This was not like, it wasn't just accepted that you were white and rapping. That's part of it. But you had to really push, you had to really spit, and my life was so messed up that all I did was think and all I did was contemplate. So then it was just a matter of saying it quick and putting it together. And
no doubt.
You know, so I'm glad that I grew up in that era because it forged me, you know, into who I am as an artist, you know what I mean? And it forged me into appreciating what we had in that era and how it's different now and how we can bring it back with the right respect for the culture and the right work ethic and the right, you know, love for it. That's what's lost in it is like, y'all just want to make money on it. Cool. I want to make money too. I put the hard hat on for that. You know what I'm saying? And if rap becomes something I make money on, cool. I want that. In 30 and over league, man, we're doing some crazy things right now. We want that. We're hungry. We feel like we deserve. We do feel that. Not even just on the humble. Like I fuck 10,000 hours. I don't even know how many hours I put in. Like between just writing and rapping and freestyling, it's like beyond that. So to be 30, I'm about to be 35 on Saturday. It's my birthday, and to be this hungry now, I'm hungrier now than when I was 15, and I was way hungry. So
that actually leads me into my next question. So in between the fact that since 95 till now, man, you must have rocked at least 1,000 shows or more, right? Do you still find it hard to gain that energy? Like back in the day, you were doing it, you loved it, you hit it hard every show. When you get a show, like y'all got a show coming up soon at the Kung Fu Necktie with Kool Keith, y'all got the joint on the 27th, featured act for Inspector Deck, and so on and so on. Is it hard for you now to still get hype about these shows and still go extra hard, or is it just like, man, I done did it already, and it's like, whatever. You ever like, man, I don't even want to perform tonight, but I have to, or?
Nah, I mean, well, yeah, I mean, look, I'll be a liar if I said nah. I mean, look, anybody knows me on Facebook knows I'm pretty open book, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk a lot, and I have no problem being honest about how I feel. Yeah, look, I've opened for Cypress Hill with Bongers for Jesus. That's thousands of people. So when you're in a room with 10 people, it can be hard sometimes, but then you gotta just flip it and be like, all right, now they're getting an intimate thing that's a totally different vibe. And you still, if you're gonna go there, go all the way or don't. Duck on the show. You know what I'm saying? If that's how you feel. I seen lesser rappers than me, no offense, duck on shows, and then I went 20 minutes later when even less people were there and gave them everything I had.
As you should.
They know, man, like the veins are gonna pop out. It's gonna look like, is this the day he has a stroke on stage? If that's, you know what I'm saying? Like if I can do that every single time, then, you know what I mean? Then I keep doing it. Because because it hasn't been about money up to this point. I mean, I made a little money here on tours, and I made a little money here doing this thing and that thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, what's the legacy? How they gonna remember me? If I'm gone tomorrow, how you gonna tell my kids I did it? And I think at this point, y'all can say I did it right.
Right.
And so I can live with that. And if this is a business, you know what I'm saying? And I understand the business. The music industry is funny, especially in the amateur sense. You know, when I say amateur sense, I mean people who aren't really putting the work into it. You can't start. I was talking to this with Bless, peace to Blesser,
Shout out
30 and
Blesser,
over league,
no
peace
doubt.
to Payday. Talking about like they want to run game on business, but not actually act like a business. You got to put money into this. You got to actually be willing to lose some money. You got to actually be willing to just put the work in. If you start a restaurant, you can't just start a restaurant with no capital. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that part of it, and the legacy and the definition for me is what has grown greater. And when I released myself from it, and you know, people know my Facebook post that I did last year that basically like laid a lot of things out. It was a real long post where I just was like, I've been chasing and going as hard, doing 5-6 shows a month for years now, on a stage every time I can. And if there ain't a stage, I mean, I went to an open mic on Monday just to freestyle, just you know what I mean, because it's my homie's thing. You know what I'm saying? So the definition, the legacy of whatever it is, however they're gonna judge me, when it's all said and done, they can't take away what I've done already. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't take away the accomplishments that I don't even have to talk about. I don't care about. What matters? When I get up there and I do it and I look you in the face, you know I'm giving it to you. Like, really, honestly, sincerely, and as much as I can until I walk off. And, you know, I walk off, people want to give me hugs. I'm like, nah, you don't want to touch me right now because I'm dripping. You know what I'm saying?
You should give it all you got up there. I know what I've seen. I just wanted you to explain to the people listening.
To the young rappers who are over there lip syncing over there, Jones, we don't got no respect for that for a reason. I go there because like for real, like that. But that's the contrast. When you see a dude like me, you see a dude like Blesser, you see a dude like Nico the Beast, you see any of the team that I got, that I'm with right now. You understand the difference between us and that. And it's because we were forged from a different era. We're 30 and over league, like we're grown-ups. We're not playing games on this shit no more. Like fuck all that. So, you know, whatever. Take that and do whatever you want with it. If you feel salty because you're doing that bullshit that I'm calling to the table, that's on you. That's not my fault.
Yo, I put them, when I be hosting the shows, I put them on blast before they get on stage or after. Yeah. Like, I do it live on shows. Like, my man coming up next ain't got no instrumentals on it, or no lyrics on his shit, and he about to kill it. Mind you, 3 people already got off stage done did that lip singing shit. It is what it is, man. Like, you know, I did the post earlier about everyone sounding like they Philly, not everyone, but a lot of Philly rappers sound like ATL. I had people hit me up privately. Are you talking about me? I don't know. Am I talking about you?
Talking about you? If so,
but,
then
you know, it is what it is. But you mentioned 30 and over. I love this interview so far. You're leading me like right into my next questions, man.
Been doing this a long time.
Right, like, so how exactly did this come about? I didn't even know you were down with 30 and over league until Nico was telling me as far as the Nori joined at the TLA, and he was like, yeah, we got Zach coming up with it. And I'm like, oh, where Zach's rocking with y'all? He's like, no, bro, Zach's 30 and over now. How did that come about, and what made you decide to join the 30 and over crew?
Well, you know, I mean, I had some transitional things happen last year, some affiliations change and shift or whatever. I just, you know, I mean, I decided to walk away from some things and just do my own thing. And that put me in a cool space after walking away from some things to just like get my head together and relax a little bit. People who know my history in this town understand the relationship between me and Nico, the relationship between me and Ak Diesel, and the relationship between the history of hip hop in this city 6-7 years ago, whatever, your Beat Garden and all those kinds of things. And me and Nico definitively for a long time have said, you know, just in conversations, like, we got unfinished business to do. We got a lot of work we still got to do. And once I was clear of all previous obligations, you know what I mean, I was at Johnny on the Spot's album release party.
Shout out JOTS,
yeah, who put an incredible album out last year.
He's actually coming up in March.
Dope. Courtesy Flush
guy.
was an incredible album, like one of the best from Philadelphia local artists last year. And if you don't got it, cop it. It's all over the place.
I fucks with it. Yep.
So, you know, but I got up and rocked with him, and it was just like, it was right. You know what I mean? You know when you're up there with people and you're like, wait a second, what the fuck was that? And I think when we got done, we were like, yo, what the fuck was that? And then that just, me and Nico just started talking, you know what I'm saying? And I don't make a big deal about how things shift or change. Some things are very public, you know what I mean? Everybody knows I was married and I'm divorced. Everybody knows my kids got weird names. Everybody knows my ex-girlfriend is ratchet and crazy. Everybody knows all this bullshit about me. So there's no secrets with me, and you know what I mean? But if things change and I'm not trying to cause drama, things just change and shift and you'll figure out what happened later. And that's sort of what happened with this. Was like, Mika was like, well, I thought you're such and such and such. And I'm like, nah, I'm a free agent right now.
Leading me into my questions. I mean, I wanted to know too, like, you know, we don't have to get into no, you know, because one thing we ain't about here is bringing up drama or nothing like that.
There is no drama in that, cool. I'll tell you that.
But I was curious as well, like, as far as did it go bad, or you just felt like you had to walk away from the past crew that you was involved with?
All right, let's say it. Corfu is the crew we talking about.
Of course.
Corfu M Down. Peace and respect to everybody in Corfu M Down.
Good dudes.
They're all my
that, yeah.
And high level artists, but also high level people who I consider my friends and family.
Right.
Things can be complicated in a group that large. It's you know, I mean, 30 and over league is a lot of people, and Corfu is 3 times that.
Word.
So, you know, I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying? So if I feel like I'm in a situation where I can't be a leader, I may analyze that a certain way and decide, all right, you know, I start focusing on my own thing. I start doing the things that I got to do and whatever else. And I think at a certain point I just decided, you know, we're all developing in different speeds and at different rates. And I'm going to be 35 on Saturday. You know, some people are 22, 23, 24. And I respect, you know what I mean, who they are, what they do, everything. But at the same time, like, this is game time right now. There's no game time 10 years from now. It's game time right now. Like, February 18th is game time. Like, February 27th is game time. Like, everything, all the time is game time. It's 24 hours, 7 days a week. I don't have time for something so... You know what I mean? Something so, I don't know what to say.
Look at his hand gesture. You don't have to say it. His hand. I think a lot of people get that hand gesture though.
Yeah, and it's yeah, you know what I mean? It's swirling, and I get it, and that's what makes it cool. But I'm too old for that.
And that's understandable.
And that's no knock against them. You know,
Not
like I said, I love Rich Quick. I love Voss.
I love both been on the show. Yeah.
I love all them dudes. I love John. You know what I'm saying? I talk to John all the time. That's my family. That's friends. Sometimes, in order to stay friends with people, though, you can't do business with them anymore.
Understandable.
And that's as real as it gets.
Yo, Jones. Oh, see, I still want to call you Jones Zap. My man Zap's in the building. We gonna take a quick break. We gonna get to a couple joints, and don't go nowhere. We got some more questions, and yeah, take over at 10. Yachty Box.